Hey, this is Malachi. You know, as men go on our own way, we need to remember there are young men who are still trapped and have not been educated by other men, but they have been indoctrinated by women who have an utter hatred towards the male species because obviously women get the children in most divorces. I was lucky I got my son. But it came with still headaches. But most boys are in this indoctrinated world of how evil men are and how they should do this, that, and the other to utterly first please a woman and then lastly please themselves. To where what women and most of these people who call themselves thought-provoking psychiatrists of the armchair, instead of armchair quarterbacks, they're armchair psychiatrists because they watch Oprah. And they have created this world of it's the female first and it's the man last, even though if they really knew true men, all true men always put everybody before them anyways. It's just how we're built. But we're at a point in time where a lot of us guys, like myself, 48 years old, I'm done. And unfortunately I came from a divorced family too. I didn't have a mother that was an anti-man thing. So I was lucky with that. But however, we as men, we need to help these kids. We need to work with them. We need to do what we can to make sure that they don't become that majority that seems to be out there of the new generation of man that's just an utter moron. And I always hope for change, but if you can't learn to make a buck, you're not going to get change out of nothing, right? So you got to get out there and do something with yourself. Myself, I had to pick myself up by bootstraps and do my own thing. Nobody taught me anything. I pretty much learned it on my own. And it's all before the day of being able to go to YouTube and see some 4-year-old kid figure it out for you, I had to buy a duplex at 19, become a landlord, and know how to do plumbing, right then and there. And unfortunately, I didn't have a dad that was willing to say, yeah, let's do it, So I always created the businesses, and I'd hire him to do stuff. So he was a good worker, but not good at other things. But anyways, and that's been this continuation of degradation and of just trying to tear apart the foundation of the world by tearing apart the man. And so anyways, the only reason why I got in this whole men going their own way, and I stated this in my first videos, I had a lady friend thinking that I was going to take her side because I'm a musician, I'm a businessman, I'm kind of pretty balanced. I think I'm like most men that are just tired. We're balanced guys. We don't have problems. We can do anything. We've done everything. But we're just tired of not getting respected. So that's why we're leaving. But we can't leave those that want to learn. Maybe we should maybe we should do a men going their own way boot camp for young men going their own way. That's an idea. A boot camp in that way. And actually teach them something. Skills, work, a job, something that they could do where they can make decent money. Instead of thinking working at McDonald's is the key, or, all these guys that go out there and go, we can't live off a minimum wage. Well, I never made minimum wage. Shit, when I was 19, I was making $20 an hour. Of course, wages haven't gone up anywhere because, unfortunately, there's been this pocket of men who were indoctrinated by women who have vaginas that for some strange reason they were able to get in positions of power and actually create these companies and become wealthy. And it's kind of this weird freaking vortex going on in this world. I guess that's why things like this are happening. But along within this vortex, this toilet bowl of hell, I don't want it to become a freaking black hole and suck everybody in, because even us guys that are just tired and we're ready to leave, I'm ready to leave. Man, if I had it my way, and I mean, I got an 8-year-old daughter. That'll be another story, because that's the story I'm going to tell probably next for the youth, so they can go, fuck, I ain't doing what that guy did. So it'll be a good story for you, because even though I love my daughter and I don't mind coming to school and pick her up and dealing with all this crap, even though her mother just left the previous boyfriend that lived freaking 2 blocks down the street. Obviously, they didn't get along, so she ran out of that situation. Then I find out yesterday she's losing the second house that she fought so hard to get in the divorce. That's another $300,000+ in the toilet, along with the $600,000 of the other one. So let's figure out a way to make sure that the parts of this next generation of men aren't total pukes. And that's it. Because I'm looking at a puke right behind me here of an idiot that doesn't know how to drive. And that's another freaking whole story in itself. When I was 15 and a half, I was racing down there to get my permit to get in, to drive with somebody. And man, when I turned 16, that day, I think I was down there getting my license. Today, it's like, talk to some kids, they go, what do I want a license for? It's like, freedom, man, freaking freedom. Get in your car and drive out and do something with your life. That's a woman. Probably a woman raised by another woman who they've had this 3-generational issue of hating men. And now she's out knocking on somebody's door to say, excuse me, but can I park right there where you're at? Because I don't want to wait in line like everybody else is. And, I would have told her, I said, well, you know what, dear, you probably could come a little earlier and you wouldn't have that issue. Oh, and by the way, when you have to back up out of this spot, you're kind of going to be screwed, because there's a freaking long line that almost goes 2 blocks to pick up kids here every day. Anyways, it's my rant. I'm done. Hug your kids, call your parents, go see a neighbor, repent and be baptized. Malachi signing out. Bye.